This is one of the best ways to reveal a selected card that I've ever seen. It is visual, it is super impressive, and it's very easy to do. Check this out. So you're gonna get someone to pick a card, so they say stop, and they remember the card, right? That is your selected card. Then the card is shuffled into the pack and lost for good. We'll give the cards a couple of cuts as well. Now to find your card, we're gonna do something super impressive. We're gonna use this elastic band. Now check this out. We're gonna put the elastic band over the cards like this and lock everything together, like so. So everything is nice and tight and locked up. Now, I'm gonna try and find your card. We're gonna do this super quick. Check this out. Just think of your card and you get the spectator to name their card, and then instantly, the card appears on the back of your hand. It's so amazing. Right, let's get into this one. All right, so we're gonna break this down into two sections. The first is I'm gonna teach you an awesome card control that you can use all the time. It's one of my favorite card controls to use because it looks so clean. And then we're gonna get into the actual reveal of the card where the elastic band fires it onto the back of your hand, and that looks super awesome. So first of all, you need to get an elastic band that's the right size. Now you might need to play around to find the right band for you. So I found these bands, and they are from Tesco's in the UK. You get them in this cool elastic band ball, and they work fantastic. You want to just play around, just buy a bunch of elastic bands and you're going to find which one works best for you. It's basically one that's quite thick, like this, and that has quite a lot of stretch to it. So once I teach you how to do it, play around with a couple of different elastic bands, and if you find one that works really good, then drop it in the comments below so that everyone can see and they can try it out and try and get it themselves. So let's talk about the card control. Now the card control looks like this. It's one of my favorite controls. Just say stop. If they say stop, they remember the card, then the cards are put together and it all looks very fair. And in that action, their card is actually controlled to the bottom of the deck. So this is how the control works. It looks like you ruffle the cards, they say stop, they remember the card, and then you place this back on top of this packet. What actually happens is when they say stop, they remember the card. What your hand's gonna do is your fingers are gonna wrap around this packet like this, and they're gonna pull that card to the right. Now, if you use this action where you pull it to the right, this will happen, okay? It's kind of like you pull to the right and then up, and it will kick off this card in this fashion like so. And what that will allow you to do is then, when you're gonna go onto these cards like this card is gonna be fed onto the bottom packet, and these are gonna go on top. In real time, it looks like this. There, I'm doing the move, and then this is getting fed underneath. From the front, this is what it looks like. This is what your audience will see. They say stop, they remember the card, and it looks like the cards are just assembled and the card is somewhere in the middle of the deck. We know now that the card is on the bottom, and you're just going to give a very casual shuffle, which looks like this. Looks like you shuffle the cards. And all I'm doing here, guys, is a backslip. So just grip this whole packet with your fingers at the back and your thumb here. And when your hand comes over to grab these cards, you just squeeze, and that bottom card will stay exactly where it is on the bottom, and then you just shuffle these on top. Okay, that's the exposed view. And from the top, it just looks like you shuffle a deck like that. Okay, and it looks like the cards are mixed. You can then do a little false cut, and this is one of my favorite false cuts. These are all bonus moves, by the way. So if you hold the cards with your two fingers at the front and your thumb at the back, your first finger is gonna pull this up and kick it over. These cards are then gonna be clipped by your left thumb. These come into the hand like so. Then you're gonna square these cards up, drop these onto the table, and then these go on top. And that has done absolutely nothing because their card now is still on the bottom of the deck. So it looks like this in real time. It looks like you cut the cards. It's very convincing, but really nothing's happened and their card is still on the bottom of the deck. Now this is the cool part. So this is the part where I show you how to wrap the deck with the elastic band so it fires it onto the back of your hand at the end of the trick. This is so cool. And the great news is it's not that difficult to do. So here's how you wrap the deck. You're going to get the elastic band stretched between your fingers like that, and then you're going to pull up on all of the cards above the bottom card. Okay, so you end up with this gap between the deck and then the bottom card like so. Now you can't see this from the front. Now what you're going to do is feed the bottom strand of that elastic into that gap. So that's going to go there. So it's going to go above the bottom card and below the rest of the deck. So then it's on the deck like so. So now, if you put all your fingers in like this, and you turn this over, turn your wrist over, so then you're going to create this cross. Turn your left hand towards yourself, and at the back here, your second finger is on this strand, it's just going to pull in a loop like that. So you end up with this situation here where it's pulling in a loop, and then rotate your left hand back again, like so. And then finally, this loop here is going to go over all of the cards and attach there, like so. So you basically look like you've wrapped the whole deck, but what you're actually doing is you're pinching this loop. If I show you here, you're pinching this loop at the back, like so. Now, underneath the deck, what I do is I put my first finger on this little knot here, and then I release the knot with my second finger. And what that will do now is that will lock everything nice and secure. So now you can show that the elastic band is wrapped around the deck. What's actually happening is that you've only got one strand around the bottom card, and the second strand is obviously going above the bottom card, like so. Obviously, don't turn the cards over because they're going to see their card. All you need to do to make the card appear is the top band, not the bottom band, but the top band. You're going to put your fingers, all your fingers, underneath that top band, and you'll feel the knot release on the right hand side. Okay, I just felt it ping off. And then you're going to palm pretty much the whole deck in your hand, like so. And then to make the card appear, all you need to do is just open your hand nice and wide, and the card appears on the back of your hand. The first time you try this, it is so cool. You're gonna love it. When I first learned this trick, what I struggled with was the knot. The knot wasn't sticking, you know, when you're able to let go of the deck after you've wrapped the elastic band around it. And basically what was happening there is that I was using an elastic band that was too thin and it just wasn't biting and sticking. So try to use a slightly thicker elastic band and that should solve that problem. Also, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't stick. You can quite easily skip that part and just wrap the deck with the elastic band and then just go straight into putting your hand through the loop and making it fire to the back of your hand. Initially guys, it might seem a little bit tricky on how to wrap the deck. Just watch the video a couple of times. When you get it down, you've got one of the most visually stunning card revelations that I think you can do. Oh, I love this trick. I hope you guys are gonna have so much fun with this. I'm sure you're gonna get amazing reactions when you perform it. So if you like it, like and subscribe. And if you're interested in learning more, then don't forget I've got my magic course. It is a full beginner's course on magic, teaching you some amazing tricks and techniques. It's 4 hours long, over 70 lessons, and it's the only beginner's magic course that you would ever need. It covers everything. So I'll pop a link to that in the description below. There's one problem with this trick. It's too strong. I don't think you can open with this. You need to open with something else. And if you want to know what I open with before I do this trick, then check out this video here. It is an absolutely amazing color changing deck routine. It's multi-phase, it is killer, you'll love it. Do that first, go into this, you've got a whole act. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I will see you next week for the next video.